Hello everyone. Today I am going to be talking about communication disorders, also known as speech and language impairments. Communication disorders are a range of conditions that can affect a person's ability to communicate effectively. Can include problems with speech, language, and social communication. What are communication disorders? To understand this concept, we will see this video.
Gap, night, boon. Yeah, bit boon and little boon and bit hot and little hot.
The spoon's a big one, but what's this one?
Cup.
A cup, but what did you say? A big?
A big boon and a little boon and a bit fork and a big and a little fork.
Are these?
My name is Daniel. I am 7. I have 7 fish.
Good.
I live in a blue house. We have a big glass called the
What's this?
mouth.
And are these teeth?
Nose and nose and mouth.
Where are the teeth?
Nose and nose.
Does the crocodile have teeth?
No, a camera has nose.
Where are the teeth?
Nose.
The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, officially defines speech and language impairments as a communication disorder such as stuttering, impaired articulation, a language impairment, or a voice impairment that adversely affects a child's education performance. Each point within this official definition represents a speech and language subcategory. A communication disorder, such as stuttering, provides an example of a fluency disorder. Other fluency issues include inusual words repetition and hesitant speech. Impaired articulation indicates impairments in which a child experiences challenges in pronouncing specific sounds. A language impairment can entail difficulty comprehending words properly, expressing oneself, and listening to others. Finally, a voice impairment involves difficulty voicing words. For instance, throat issues may cause an abnormally soft voice. Common traits. Speech and language impairments tend to emerge at a young age, and the earlier a child is diagnosed and receives services accordingly, the more likely that child can outgrow the disability. Speech-language pathologists work with children with speech and language impairments, as well as with parents and teachers. For example, a speech-language pathologist might work with a child with impaired articulation to help him or her learn to pronounce S and Z sounds correctly.
Types of communication disorders include speech disorders. These disorders affect the way a person produces speech sounds. They can include problems with articulation, the production of individual sounds, fluency, the flow of speech, and voice quality. Language disorders. These disorders affect a person's ability to understand and use language. They can include problems with vocabulary, grammar, and comprehension. Social communication disorders. These disorders affect a person's ability to use communication to interact with others in social situations. They can include problems with understanding social cues, making friends, and participating in group activities. Educational challenges. The obstacles created by speech and language impairments vary by the specific case, but because communication is at the core of education, these impairments can impact the students' inter-educational experience. Some of these challenges might involve communicating effectively with classmates and teachers, understanding and or giving oral presentations, participating in classroom discussions, and finding normalcy within a group. These challenges can make it difficult for students with communication disorders to keep up with their peers and achieve academic success. Tips for teachers and parents. NICHCI recognizes early intervention as a helpful tool for children with speech and language impairments. Working with speech-language pathologists during the preschool years can be a game changer, addressing issues such as stuttering and articulation impairments. Early can lessen potential communication difficulties later in a child's educational career. It's worth mentioning that the speech and language impairments requiring long-term attention generally remain manageable. As schools' speech-language pathologists should work with both teachers and parents to discuss a child's needs and how to best meet them. Bullying is an issue for some children with speech and language impairments. For instance, peers might mock a stutter or a lisp. Bullying often becomes more than a social issue as it can distract the student who is the target from his or her classwork. Taking class time to teach about bullying can help prevent this. What are reasonable accommodation? There are a number of reasonable accommodations that can be provided to students with communication disorders to help them succeed in the classroom. These accommodations can include providing visual aids. This can help the students with language disorders understand what is being said in class. For example, teachers can use charts, graphs, and pictures to illustrate their lessons. Using sign language, this can be a helpful accommodation for students with speech disorders who have difficulty producing certain sounds. Giving extra time for assignments, this can help students with communication disorders who have difficulty processing information or completing tasks. Allowing students to use a computer or other assistive technology, this can help students with communication disorders who have difficulty writing or typing. Earning students with a peer body, this can help students with communication disorders who are shy or withdrawn to make friends and participate in class activities. Providing social skills training, this can help students with social communication disorders learn how to interact with others in a more effective way. Conclusion. Communication disorders can be a challenging disability, but with the right support, students with communication disorders can succeed in the classroom and in life. By providing reasonable accommodations and early intervention, we can help students with communication disorders reach their full potential. I hope this presentation has been informative and helpful. Thank you for your time.